What's up, everybody? Welcome to Monday. It is June 16th. I hope you're having a great day. We got 2 more days to my 50th birthday, so I appreciate everybody that's been watching those videos. Today, we're going to be talking about maximizing your content, taking advantage of every single opportunity to make content, and that's doing whatever and wherever. Now, if you've noticed, I've been dropping a lot of different content on my channel. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to step away from the shorts. Even though I love them, I want to focus on making long form content. I want to be able to have stuff that's gonna be there for a while. You know, the shorts are awesome. Shorts, I love putting them because they're so quick. Boom, 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 and you can get them out there. I always do the today is Monday episode or whatever. Today is Tuesdays, and I love those. But I want to expand. And that's all about growth. Now, making these forms of videos, it takes you out of your normality. I don't know what the word is, but it takes you out of your comfort zone. I'm sorry. Now, this goes hand in hand with doing batch edits. I know I dropped some videos that you saw me wear the same shirt. I did that because I wanted people to see that you can get a whole bunch of topics out and it doesn't have to take too long. Like, for example, this. I'm at a doctor's appointment for my daughter, and rather than lose this time, because she's going to be in there for an hour, I figured, hey, you know what? Let me knock out a bunch of videos. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm knocking out a bunch of videos in the parking lot and not being concerned with the background setting. I've been encouraged by watching people like Terry Creates and other YouTubers that just post from their trucks. You know, they do deliveries or whatever the case is. I don't know what they do, but they're in their truck setting. So they're just either on break or lunch or driving, and they're speaking. So that's what I'm doing right now. On Facebook, like I said, I've been following this guy named Coops Collective with the Pokemon stuff. You know, I'm not a big Pokemon person, but I've been following his stuff. And in doing so, you know, the algorithm starts feeding you different other content creators. Golly, you know what? Now there's a little gnat in here. So this one guy I think it's on his breaks, but he does, he leaves his job and he goes and buys these Pokemon decks, and he sits in the car and he's got like I guess his video camera facing downward, and he's just opened up these cards. Boom, 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 and that's it. And the views are just crazy, you know. He's just sharing. I know I dropped another video about just sharing your stories. This is kind of like that, you know. Once you start putting out content, first they're either gonna like you or they're not gonna like you. If they like you, they're gonna see something else and they're gonna watch your videos and they're gonna get to know you. But they won't get to know you if you don't make an attempt, if you don't try to post content, if you don't open up yourself to people getting to know you. And by doing so, they'll get to know you by these videos that you're making. Now, in this type of a setting, you can also, you know, like I said, focus on the batch editing. You could do a bunch of different topics while you're just sitting here waiting, but you're maximizing your time. And that's if you want to grow in anything, especially like if you own your own business, you got to maximize every single downtime that you got. You don't want to waste any opportunity to get your content out there. Yesterday was Father's Day, and you know, I had to put a lot of our tree cuttings to the front yard, so I'm kind of tired physically. I'm tired. Plus, I was smoking some ribs and sausages, and that heat just got to me. Right now, we're getting ready to go into our hottest season in Texas, and yeah, so I'm feeling it. I went to sleep early last night, but since I went to sleep early, I woke up early and I just started hammering on the socials, getting my stuff out there, checking my numbers, checking the competitors, checking what everybody's doing, finding my topics, and making sure I have an effective day today. Well, apart from that, I didn't know that we had this appointment. So we had this appointment. I have another appointment with my son-in-law. I have a whole bunch of other stuff. We have some people coming in to sign some contracts, and then I have materials from clients and this and that. So it's hard unless you make that determination that you're gonna make content and doing it in between, which I'm gonna do throughout the whole day. I'm just gonna be making tons of content, and I'll be dropping that. And I'm hoping that this content helps somebody. Now, in doing so, I know a lot of stuff is not gonna be perfect. And you're gonna get criticized. You're gonna get people saying, hey, you know what, that you could do a little better on your audio, which you can. You could do a little better on your topics, which you can, speaking or whatever the case is. But I'd always prefer progress over perfection. People that seek perfection put stuff on the shelves. They don't get anything done because they're seeking that perfection rather than the progress. I'm not gonna sit on material because I don't think it's perfect. I'd rather have the viewer think that. And I found out by watching other people and how they post that by them being imperfect, it's made a better connection for me. So with that, like I said, I hope you take advantage of every single moment throughout the day to make content, because there's people that are looking for that. There's people that listen to that. I know that some people, like when I watch YouTube, I just put it in my ear. If I'm working on something, I'm not even watching what they're doing sometimes. I'm just listening to them because the message is stronger than the image. And if you have a strong message, if you have something that's positive, something that's uplifting, something that makes an impact on someone's life, they're not going to care what you're wearing. You could be wearing, I don't know, flip-flops, or you could be covered in mud, or having moscas flying around in your studio the other day. I swatted a whole bunch of them now, so I'm not going to have that issue. And I put a little screen on my studio so they don't fly right in. And then plus I got rid of the smoker and all the excess grease that was on the floor, so that's going to keep the mosquitoes out. If you saw them flying around on the videos, my apologies, they were just saying hi. So, and then the gnat today, it just seems like everybody's trying to get a piece. So hope you have a great Monday. I hope this message is for you. If it was, drop a comment. If you're not following my 18-day countdown to my birthday, follow. It's on the playlist. And as always, I appreciate all of y'all. I appreciate you being a part of this journey with me. It's encouraging when I do see people starting to like the videos, dropping comments. I love the comments, because sometimes we put stuff out there into the world, into the dark. It feels like, I don't know, an empty galaxy. And then when you get one comment, you're like, oh my God, like you're reaching out to ET, and then you finally get a response. So, but that's how it is. That's how all this is. People don't grow overnight. They grow, with consistency and progress on a daily basis. So I appreciate you. Until next time, deuces.